And so again, welcome to the Virginia Beach Task Force for those of you that haven't been in a while or continue to show up, so thank you. But today, for the first part of the meeting, we are going to pay a moment of tribute and, or not tribute, but a moment of silence and remembrance of one of our own, Susan Story, who recently passed on Monday. And Mary Joyce is here, who is going to provide a violinist musical demonstration, and we're going to just show some remembrance to Susan's story. Mary?
Thanks, Micah. So I just have two pieces here just to honor Susan.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much for that. And if you don't mind, we're just going to take a few moments of silence for Susan. With that, I just want to say thank you all for always being there for all of us and for allowing us to do that. Again, this has been a tough year. We've had 3 members and 3 very prominent people in senior living pass. So it's never easy. So I do want to thank all of you for allowing us to do this and show remembrance of them. So thank you, Mary, again for that piece. I appreciate that so much, and always willingness to do this. So trying to move on, we want to keep going with our task force meeting. We have had a few members that are our chairs that are not going to be able to join us today. Our vice chair, Allison Whitman, she had some news about family. One of her family members has been diagnosed with cancer, so we're going to keep her in our prayers. Katrina Parker's on vacation, and as many of you know, Pete Turner who is our membership chair. He just lost his dad recently, so he is also not going to be able to join us. And then Brandy Smith is not feeling well and is sick today. And Carrie Riley, who is our website our publicity person, is going to be showing up hopefully in the next 20 minutes. But I'll be your main person speaking today. So today we will, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I hope it's not that bad. But today we have a pretty full agenda. We have our new business about a big announcement discussion that the chairs have had about in-person meetings versus virtual. So we're going to have a discussion of that in a moment. But first, we've been discussing public policy and advocacy for our seniors in the community. And there's been obviously a big push and a big amount of people in our membership that really want to take an action on this. So we had a follow-up to our joint task force meeting in January this past Tuesday in regards to public policy and advocacy. And we had the Honorable Congressman Scott speak on this. So he's going to share with us for about 12 minutes on updates and things that are going on in office. And I'm going to now be quiet, and Bob gets to see himself introduced. So this is going to be entertaining, to say the least. So here we are with this discussion.
So I've decided to take the risk of going unscripted. Our first speaker or panelist is Congressman Bobby Scott. And this is a congressman that I think is definitely family. It seems like no matter where I go in the region, he is there instead of being up in DC. But when he is in DC, he has been very influential when it comes to the issues facing seniors, and discovered that he's been doing this almost as long as Bill Massey. So without further ado, Congressman Bobby Scott.
Thank you. And you know, I always get worried when people go off script. When people don't know you at all, you hand them the resume and they have to read it word for word because they don't know any better. When somebody says I'm going off script, you never know what's going to happen. So Bob, thank you for your kind introduction. And we were discussing the other day how long Bill Massey has been doing this. And I'm sure he's been doing it more than I've been doing Congress, because I was with him in the General Assembly. I'm not sure exactly how far, but it's close to. Bill, is it 40 years?
It's 37 at PAA, and I did some internship with Bay Aging, so it's about 40. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was in the House of Delegates when he started. So it's certainly a pleasure to be with him and everybody else. And I want to thank you for inviting me to speak. And also mainly want to thank you for everything you do to support older adults and elder care professionals. In May, we observed Older Americans Month, a bit of tumultuous time for the communities we serve. Across the country, aging Americans and those who care for them have suffered disproportionately from COVID-19. However, as you know, older adults and caregivers have been grappling with significant challenges even before COVID-19 because of disinvestment in programs under the Older Americans Act, which has severely weakened services that millions of people rely on every day. We have also faced an accelerating shortage of direct care workers who make it possible for people to age with dignity and independence. This nationwide shortage reflects the reality that caregivers are consistently undervalued and underworked, underpaid, despite the essential role they play in our communities. The COVID-19 pandemic has drastically worsened these systemic problems. Even with vaccinations, older Americans are continuing to suffer from record unemployment rates and restricted access to critical everyday services, including nutrition. Meanwhile, caregivers are fighting on the front lines without resources, training, and workplace safety they need to keep themselves and their clients safe. Subsequently, direct care workers across the country have had to leave their jobs. Others stayed with their jobs, and many of those tragically contracted the virus, and many lost their lives. In response, the Education and Labor Committee has taken key steps to help older Americans and caregivers overcome the unprecedented challenges. Starting in March of last year, March 2020, we led a bipartisan reauthorization of the Older Americans Act, which provided record levels of OAA funding and focused on supporting family caregivers and addressing social isolation. And over the past year, we reinforced this reauthorization with historic relief packages that combined dedicated more than $2.5 billion in additional funding for OAA programs. Now, this funding has been critical to ensuring that nutritional assistance programs, as well as home care, transportation, and other supportive services continued during the pandemic. Most recently, we passed the American Rescue Plan, which alone invested $1.4 billion in OAA programs, including nutritional programs and supportive services. To show what that means, Virginia will receive about $18 million for nutrition services and more than $11 million for supportive services. And while these packages provided urgent relief during the pandemic, we still have far to go in terms of giving caregivers support they need and to improve the quality of care for older Americans. That's why last month I reintroduced the Direct Creation, Advancement, and Retention of Employment Opportunity Act, or Direct Care Act. This legislation responds to the surging demand for caregivers by investing more than $1 billion over 5 years in recruiting, training, and retaining direct care workers. Tim Kaine and I have been working on this for several years, and hopefully we can get this, at least some of it passed. But I'm encouraged that President Biden has included key pieces of this bill in his American Jobs Plan proposal, providing $400 billion to expand home and community-based services. His plan also invests additional funding in direct support, funding in direct support. Moving forward, I'll continue working with my colleagues in the Biden administration to ensure that our investments in workforce development prioritize the caregiving workforce. Last month, we also passed legislation called the Protecting Older Workers Against Discrimination Act, call it PWOTA. This legislation directly addresses a 2009 Supreme Court Gross decision that set an extremely difficult burden of proof for workers alleging discrimination based on age. This is a needless barrier to justice for older Americans, more than half of whom are pushed out of long-term jobs before they choose to retire. WOTA would restore the previous burden of proof for age discrimination claims and set the same standard used for discrimination based on sex, race, religion, and national origin. So I look forward to passing the bill on the House as early as this month and getting it passed in the Senate. While we work to advance these legislative solutions in Congress, it's your work on the ground each day that is continuing to protect the lives and independence of our nation's older adults. So please continue to do that kind of job and make your voices heard. And I look forward to continuing our joint efforts to improve the lives of older adults and caregivers, both during this pandemic and in the future. Thank you.
So there you have it. That's the update and the discussion that we were able to have. And there was obviously a lot more going on. But I'd love to hear any questions or comments that you all may have in regards to what we just listened to. Don't all answer at once, or don't all ask at once, for that matter.
Mike, this is Brad, if I could jump in. What was really great about Bobby joining us was not only did he do his little presentation, but he stayed for the entire meeting. Now, granted, he may have been doing other work, but just to have such a great advocate in this area, and he has been for years and years, he just truly, truly loves the population. And one thing he said later was, when we asked what could we do to try to get more issues raised at a higher level, is that he said through Zoom, every lobbyist in the world is trying to set up meetings. So he said, why, your organization is no different. Go ahead and try to set up additional advocacy meetings with the legislators and ask for the things that you want, because through Zoom, we don't have to go wait outside the door anymore. So it was really great that he was willing to stay on for that entire hour plus.
It really was. It spoke a lot of volumes because then he got to hear a lot of feedback and what other people are doing as well. So thank you for that, Brad. Anybody else? Bob, even want to add something? Or Mikkel, were you about to say something, Mikkel? Okay.
Yeah, I got to say something because I always say something. Brad hit it on the head with the Zoom meetings, but I think one of the things that impressed me with Bobby was he, when he talked about the lobbyists, they're the paid professionals, and that the voice that we have as being professionals, but not necessarily in lobbying, could impact even more. The other thing that was significant to me for the meeting was the polling, and it showed the impact of getting engaged and listening to the conversation. And I don't know if you have that, Micah, the poll.
I'd have to pull it up. I didn't prepare.
But we asked, what did you think were some top issues? And people weighed in at the very beginning, and then we re-polled at the end, and there was a dramatic change in awareness. You might have, I don't know if you noticed that Angela Kellum and John Skirvin were on the group, and Angela Kellum from the Planning Council are putting together an initiative, thanks to funding that was received from Washington, to deal with vulnerable housing situations with seniors. And I think as the group discovered that, yeah, Medicaid and those kind of issues that may impact our group, but as far as seniors, there's a huge vulnerability to homelessness. And so they're going to be putting together a cross section of organizations to really start planning out a strategy that will make us aware of what the real problem is out there, and then hopefully identify some solutions. But it was an excellent example, I think, of the idea of professionals coming together and talking with each other and getting informed about what the issues are and the real impact, so that we can then advocate for our audiences. So that had a real impact on me.
For sure, for sure. Iris, did you want to share or add anything? I don't want to put you on the spot. Clearly, Bob and Brad probably spoke enough. So, or Nanette. Iris, you just came unmuted. Hold on, Nanette.
Sure, I'll just add that what Brad mentioned was pretty phenomenal, because Mr. Scott indicated at the very beginning he wanted to stay on. And not only did he want to stay on and hear what the other panelists had to say, but he stayed on so that he could support the work that we were doing and the work that they were doing. And so that was a reason to give him more support in advocating for the things that he has been putting out there for our seniors and our aging community.
Thank you, Iris. Nanette?
Yes, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be joining Angela Kellum, John Skirvin, Steve Azalas, to have an initial meeting on how to move forward with forming a homeless elders coalition. That's this afternoon.
Wow, that moved fast.
I know.
Well done, Nanette. Keep us posted, please. Stacy Jones or Kate Powell or even Charlene Turner. I know you all were there as well. Did you all want to add anything of your take? If not, you don't have to. You can just be quiet for 3 seconds. 3. I didn't say 3. I didn't say 30. I said 3. If you're trying to say something, Charlene, you're still muted.
I'm good, thank you. No, it was just really interesting. And yes, I'm like Bob, I was amazed by the change in the polling and how things shifted after hearing the presentations of the day.
Thank you, Charlene. So with that, the Virginia Beach Task Force is going to put together a committee, like we have a person for our membership chair, we have a person for website, we have a person for charitable gift giving. So we're going to have another chair that's going to be focusing on public policy and advocacy. So if you have an interest and a desire to lead that committee, please feel free to reach out to me directly, and then I will coordinate with you and our vice chair as well to discuss what we're going to be doing with that position. But I feel just based on the last poll we did in May, so many of our members were very interested in wanting to participate in public policy and advocacy. So the reason why we're initiating this is because our members spoke. You all spoke, we listened, and we're going to have a committee that's focusing on public policy. And another thing that we're going to try to do that I'm going to implement is working with other task forces that have a person that's also focusing on public policy, so we can all be unanimous and working together with our local politicians, our local governor, our mayors, and everything, trying to bring this more of a focus together collectively. So if you have an interest, if you have a desire or passion to do this, again, reach out to me and we can move forward and try to have this this initiated before my term is up next year. So but I think this is a very much needed thing, and we just are moving forward with what you all have agreed to want to have done. So thank you all for your voice, and we just need somebody to help chair that. So again, if you have a passion or desire to do that, reach out to me. The next thing we're going to go to, because I know speaking of Brandy and Charitable Fund, Brandy has taken on a new role. She's going to be going to the peninsula, my side. And I don't know if it's announced of where she's going yet, but that's not why I'm saying that. So she is no longer going to be focusing on the south side. So her position is available, which is a charitable gift person. And all you do is just reach out to other nonprofits to see if they need funds, if they need help, so we can give back to the community that focuses on giving and caring for our seniors in the Virginia Beach area. So that's another position that's vacant. So if you'd like to be part of that, feel free to reach out to me again. So I'm speaking on behalf of her, but we gave 2 checks to nonprofits that service the Virginia Beach area. And since we do have Corey Sullivan here, I'm going to turn it over to him with Project Lifesaver. And we were able to donate $250 to Corey Sullivan, not to Corey Sullivan, to Project Lifesaver. Corey Sullivan's the person coordinating that. So Corey, would you be able to share with us how those funds have been able to help in the Virginia Beach area?
Sure. So I am the chairperson for Virginia Beach Project Lifesaver. And for those of you who don't know about the program, so we help to make sure that people who may have a tendency to wander off, we help to make sure that they're found safely and quickly. So that would be people, maybe people with Alzheimer's, dementia, even autism, things like that. In Virginia Beach, people, we do 1 to 2 searches a month for people in the program who wander off. The great thing about the program is that typically our searches end in, well, we have a 100% success rate in getting people back home safely and alive. And the average search time is less than 30 minutes for the people in the program. For those who are not in the program, searches can often be hours and sometimes even days. And unfortunately, when those searches go on for extended periods of time, usually that means somebody's going without medication. Oftentimes, they're going without food or liquids. They're often found dehydrated. We've had a couple of incidents that's resulted in the death of a person who's wandered off. But if they were in the program, again, our search times typically are less than 30 minutes to find that person. And again, 100% success rate. The tough part for us is buying the equipment for the people. Each person is fitted with essentially a receiver or transmitter. And that costs the program about $300 for just that piece alone. And it's not GPS, it is a radio frequency. And we use radio frequency because that's the most reliable long-term signal that we can create. If you use GPS, unfortunately, those have to be recharged. So if you have to take that off every day or every other day to charge it, then there's a time where the person's without that, that attachment. Whereas with the equipment that we use, generally that can go 6 to 8 weeks without having to have a battery replaced. So the funds that we use, of course, the board is all volunteer. There's no one that's paid in the program, but all of the funds that we use go towards the purchase of the equipment for the residents who need this equipment. First responders are usually the ones that get the call. So we buy equipment so that they can go and perform that search when that happens. Again, we've got usually 1 to 2 searches a month. They're all, again, 100% successful to this point, and we look forward to, of course, continuing and carrying on that success rate. And the donation of these funds, again, truly beneficial. We do our own fundraising. We're all volunteers, so we put everything towards the purchase of that equipment. And we just thank you, of course, for that donation to us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Corey, for the update. And it's good to know that you have a 100% success rate, and any way we can help advocate for that, you know, we will definitely be doing that. So thank you, Corey, for the update.
Thank you.
The other one we also gave to was Compassion Advocacy Network, but Reverend Stanley is not here. But I know that he is using those funds diligently to help his seniors and feed them and giving them the assistance they need in the Virginia Beach area. We just want to thank you, our members, for always, you know, participating and being a member for this task force, because we're able to give back to organizations like Project Lifesaver to, you know, help seniors and finding them if they wander off. And then also for seniors in the Compassion Advocacy Network that are also trying to help feed seniors that are struggling and can't find the funds to get food for themselves. So thank you all for your continued support in what we do. The next to last thing that I have is discussion on, discussion, but also just kind of announcement as well. So because of the CDC's guidelines that have changed and the governor's, revised edition of the mask wearing, the chairs, we have met probably last week or 2 weeks ago, Heather, roughly. You can just nod your head-ish. Yes, okay. So, and we have come to the consensus that we would like to move forward with meeting mask to mask or face to face starting in July. So our next meeting, we are going to be doing that. And here's the stipulation, though. Here's what we're trying to adhere to. We want to be, respectful of everybody's wishes. We will not currently, probably for this year, we will not be meeting in a retirement community. We have a few people in our chairs that work in retirement communities, and they feel the same way. There's no way we could have 40 people safely, being in the same room, and we don't want to interfere with the residents. We don't want to risk any chance. We've had a few communities reach out and say, well, we're fully open, we're not wearing masks. We just don't feel comfortable doing that. So the places we'll be meeting, please don't hurt me, but we're going to be meeting at places like Altmeyer because they have a big enough space. They can keep us away from any services that might be taking place. They have a big enough space to keep us social distance, to allow mask wearing if needed. If you have been vaccinated, wear it or don't wear it. It's up to you. If you haven't been vaccinated, please wear it. But we want to be respectful of everybody's wishes and respect everybody's own personal reasons why they want to wear the mask or not. And then also we're looking at churches, libraries as well. We just do not want to go to retirement communities this year. So please bear with us while we do that. And please be mindful that we're trying to keep safe our 100+ members. So if we have 80 people, we want to be able to make sure that everybody is catering towards that. And we don't want to do that in a retirement community. So if you have a retirement community, what you can do is you can provide the meals for the location we're meeting at, if you want to do that, and you'll have a chance to speak, prior to the meeting like we would do in the past. So that's what we're kind of accommodating, because again, we want to keep everybody safe. We will also have a Zoom option. So if you still don't feel comfortable, or in Carrie Riley's situation where their company or their agency still does not allow large groups or going out at all. So if there are those that do not wish to go out or can't because of policies in their company, we will still have a Zoom option for you as well. So if you got behind, or you got up late, or you just don't want to go out because of COVID, we are being respectful for all aspects, and we will have somebody, probably me, monitoring the Zoom. So if anybody has a question about the speaker or wants to chat, you will also get contact information of everybody that attended as well. And those that were present face-to-face or mask-to-mask will also receive your contact that was on Zoom as well. So there'll still be options to connect and network outside of the call, but we're really trying our best to be proactive, not reactive. So starting next month, be on the lookout for our first location of going in person. It's exciting, but it's also nerving. So we're really excited about it. We feel that we're making the right choice. We're making the right decisions. So if you know of a host location that's not a retirement community that can hold, I would probably say our first meeting will probably be about 40 people. So we want to accommodate that. Please chat it to me or email it to me if you have a place. But for the next 3 meetings, we already have a funeral home that has agreed to do the next 3 meetings. So July, August, September, so October, November, and December, we would need a host location is what we're working with. So that way we're set. So I hope that makes everybody a little bit excited that we're going to be actually meeting and not virtually. But again, we still want to cater to those that can't or don't wish to come out in public yet. So we really are excited about it. That's a big change for us. And we also have been, dying to get back out. But thank you all for always supporting Zoom and virtually meeting to still keep the task force going. So we're really grateful of that. So now, share a gift. So now we have quite a few minutes. So I'm going to let you all go around the room and just share any updates that are going on in your place of work. We have about 20 minutes-ish. I'm going to keep it to 20 so I can still close. So if anybody has any announcements or updates on things that are going on in your space, I'm going to go around the screen on my end. Miss Lucy Fife.
Well, I'm lucky I'm first. So I just want to say thank you to Heather and everybody for putting the advertisement for our HealthWise program on the Virginia Beach email that you guys get. I'm still looking for coaches. Any of you can be coaches. We're starting June 22nd, and it's not hard. It's actually fun and actually quite rewarding to help somebody use a device they didn't know they could actually use. So please reach out to me if you have any questions about that. And thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. Miss Angela Whitehead.
Well, good morning to everyone. It's really a joy to see all the faces, to see a lot of smiles out there. Great information being provided. And I was just excited yesterday. I attended the Virginia Beach Bringing Into Homelessness, organization. And there was some great information provided with all of the funds that are coming to Virginia Beach to help with projects, also to help with rental assistance, food, different programs. So there's a lot of great things that are happening, even though we're in a pandemic. I can still see a lot of good things that are happening that was not happening. So we can look at it as some great positive things that are happening for Virginia Beach. So I'm excited about that a lot of people will be helped and they can carry on with their life in the midst of this pandemic.
Thank you, Miss Angela.
Awesome.
Mr. Bob Batcher. I feel like I'm talking to like a talk show host. Like when I say Bob Batcher, it's like I'm bringing out.
I'm happy to announce that Prime Plus at ME Cox up on North Lynnhaven is alive and well. Our census is growing. But the announcement that I want to make to people who would be maybe referring to Virginia Beach for Adult Day is we have received a donation, significant donation that allows us to do a sliding scale scholarship program for attendance at ME Cox. So where we have a going rate of $125 a day, there's an application that's now available. So if you're interested in doing that, give me a holler at 625-5857 and we will work with you. It's what we're finding now that people are opening their blinds and saying, ooh, I think there's a new world out there. Now maybe I need to do something with my mom or my dad or my husband or my wife. But yet they don't want to be, they want to keep them at home. So we're a great alternative for that. And now we've got an opportunity to provide a sliding scale. So give me a holler.
Thank you for that, Bob. Thank you. Mikkel. She's like, I'm looking. That means you're multitasking and have other screens open.
No, I actually, can you hear me?
Yes.
I actually was pulling up Brad's file he shared, and then as soon as you called on my name, the file popped up. Anyway, my name is Mikkel Rappaport, Senior Care Consultant, Golden Lifestyle Partners. We specialize in senior living placement and referral services, and I continue to be encouraged by this group and just the talent that we have within it. And I'm really excited about the future. I'm excited about July's meeting, to be able to see everyone in person. Although we always look fabulous every month on screen, but I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready to wear pants. Just kidding, I'm wearing pants. But anyway, so great to see everyone, and keep doing what you're doing each and every day.
Thanks, Mikkel. Thank you. Corey, personally, we know much about Project Lifesavers, so how's your other hat?
So with financial services, it's been a great year. But of course, I'm always looking for adding clients. If you know of someone who's got questions about, of course, investments and retirement planning, even long-term care protection, I can help answer some of those questions. Just a quick thing for Project Lifesaver. We do have a golf tournament as part of our fundraiser that's coming up in September. We are looking for some sponsors to be able to help out with that. If you know of someone that would like to help out in a donation in that way, again, we're looking for sponsors, in whether it's a whole sponsor or range ball sponsor, whatever, that would be very helpful for us. So my information's in the chat box if you have any questions. Thanks.
Thanks, Corey. Rhonda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Rhonda Branyan with Universal Mortgage. I've been talking a lot with people who are thinking about refinancing their reverse mortgages. I've had a lot of people call me and asking me just about the reverse mortgages that they have. So if you all, and I didn't originate them, I'm just talking to them to walk them through it, explain to them again what they did 5 or 10 years ago, because they don't remember and they're not sure that it's the best investment, or their kids are saying, what the heck did you do, Mom? You shouldn't have this. You should be making monthly mortgage payments. So I'm happy to talk to anybody that you have, whether I originated the loan or not. I put my phone number and my email address in the chat, but I'm happy to talk to anyone about any type of mortgages, but I especially love my seniors with the reverses. So I'm happy to talk to anybody about any questions that they have.
Awesome. Thank you, Rhonda.
So glad we're going to be meeting in person. Can't wait to see everyone.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Not just their faces.
Heather.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Heather. I'm the Community Relations Director at Bickford of Virginia Beach, Assisted Living and Memory Care. We're doing great over here. We're celebrating Western Day, and just looking today, I'll put on my cowboy hat in a little bit. But we are looking forward to opening our newest branch in the spring, which will be here before we know it. That'll be Bickford of Chesapeake, which will be located off Great Bridge Boulevard, right across from a neighborhood called the Preserve. So if you see a building going up there, that's what it is. And our marketing trailer is not there yet, but it should be there in the next few weeks. So we're very excited for that and look forward to seeing everybody in person.
Thank you, Heather. Brad.
Good morning, everybody. Brad Lazarnik with Senior Services, and Iris posted the link to our virtual, I'm drawing a blank, annual meeting, whatever we call it now. But there's a link in there.
Shame on you.
I'm sorry. Let me go back up to Iris's chat here, because that'll tell me what the name
Iris is next. So Iris and you both get tag team. It's okay.
Our public hearing, that's what it is. And we do encourage people to please join in. There will be a live question and answer or comment section at the end. And we really do depend on the public's input of what do they feel is needed in this area? You know, what are we doing right? What do we need to improve on? What can we add? So I would encourage everybody to join that if you can. I also posted a couple flyers. The first is for a Pride Forum that we're sponsoring along with the Alzheimer's Association, Silver Rainbow, Prime Plus, I'm sure the LGBT Life Center, of where we are trying to really get at what are the issues that LGBT couples or individuals who are aging, the different issues that they may be facing and what we can do to address those concerns. That is on June 23rd from 5:30 to 7, and people are welcome to join that. We would love to have advocates for seniors join this because we are targeting the older population. And you know, in addition to the things that regular seniors face, there are additional, you know, discriminations that have to be overcome. And then the second thing I put in was we're just promoting this on behalf of the LGBT Center and Silver Pride, is that they are putting on a social at the Botanical Gardens on June 29th. There will be a number of vendors there that they've invited. We will be at the we'll be at that part of it as well, me and Iris. And so that is, if you have friends, clients, neighbors who would like to attend this, feel free to pass on that flyer with them. And that's about all I wanted to say. I'm sure Iris will have some more because we just have so much going on here at Senior Services. And the homeless older adult coalition that Bob mentioned earlier, that we're actually hiring somebody to fill that managerial position. We are partnering with the Planning Council with this. And so if you know anybody who's looking for a position, feel free to go to our website. It's posted right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. That is a lot. Iris, you can tag team now and share a little bit more about the public hearing that's today.
So the public hearing is this afternoon at 1 o'clock. And I know that I sent to many of you emails. We were hoping to get a lot of response on the survey prior to the event. And so today the event is happening at 1 p.m. And so I did post the information in the chat box for that with the link, but please use our website for much of the information that covers the aging community in our area. And of course, you know, Senior Services covers South Hampton Roads and Western Tidewater. And for that reason, I also would like to make sure that you are checking our website out for our Hayden Village Center. The center is open now. We are having our seniors to come in for the senior center programming and for our congregate meal, or as I say, socialization with a snack. And so please go to our website, check out the Hayden Village Center. We are at approximately 60% occupancy with the apartments. So we have many apartments still available. And I've been going out into the community, especially in Franklin and Isle of Wight, trying to promote affordable housing for seniors. So please check out our website for that information. And you know, of course, about our partnership with the program that Lucy does with HealthWise, and look forward to having our transportation services make announcements about some of the new changes that they are making as we venture back out into the community to serve our seniors. But our website is chock full of information. Please view it on a regular basis.
Thank you, Iris. And if you're looking for that link, it's at the very, 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 very top of the chat. So it's like the first chat. So if you're looking for that link, go all the way to the top for the public hearing today. Charlene Turner.
Hi, Charlene Turner with Tidewater Home Funding, mortgage loan originator, reverse mortgage specialist. To piggyback on what Rhonda said, Why would you want to refinance a reverse mortgage? Rates have been so low, is one reason. Plus the housing boom that we're going through right now, housing values are going up. And obviously we depend on the value of your home, the age of the borrower, two other things, as well as the third thing is interest rate. So it could be that they're eligible for more money at this point. It may be worth their while. If it's not worth their while, we will tell you. Ron is the same way. We're not going to do anything that is not in the best interest of the seniors. Plus, all mortgage rates are low. So if you have anything that you want that's a forward mortgage as opposed to the reverse, we can both help you with all of that also. And I am really looking forward to going back live because everybody keeps wanting to know, do you really have a wall phone still? So it'll be one of those things that nobody will be asking me about my wall phone anymore.
That's hilarious. I didn't even notice until you just said something. Miss other Charlene Livers.
Good morning, Charlene Livers here. I'm just impressed at the breadth that this community offers. We're just in such different places, and it's a wealth of information for me. I'm new to this community. I'm in the process of opening a small care home with, once I'm licensed, we'll be able to accommodate 8 residents. It is going to be a memory care home. And I'm in the near Cox High School in the Great Neck area of Virginia Beach. And I'm currently looking for residents and staff.
And if I may interject, if you have not toured her community, it is gorgeous. So please get over and see it. Charlene's done an amazing job. It's going to be a great option for seniors with dementia.
Thank you, Mikkel. I appreciate that.
Thank you, thank you. Mary Ann, if you're there. Okay. Kate Powell, if you're there. Okay, I guess y'all are multitasking and too cool for us. So
sorry, I'm here.
I knew that would get somebody's attention.
Yeah, no, I just finished driving my husband to work, so I'm getting out of the car. But Kate Powell, Tidewater Arts Outreach Executive Director, wandering around, as you can see in my house. We provide arts programs for older adults and those in isolating circumstances, and we've been doing a lot of new partnerships, particularly in Virginia Beach, so that's been very exciting. And I'm actually going to shut up and allow my program director, Stacy, who just joined the task force, to continue commenting about what we do and what we're available to do. Charlene Livers in particular, I'd love it if you reach out to Stacy and myself about your new community, because I think we'd love to do some programming for you guys.
So you put Kate or Stacy on the spot, but she left like minutes ago. So
we're getting ready. That's hysterical. We're getting ready to jump into another meeting. So I didn't even see that. So anyway, we got our stuff together over here, guys. I promise. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Well, I will say in your defense, it's hard to see everybody on a phone.
It is.
So unless you're scrolling back and forth constantly, you wouldn't know. So I will give you that benefit of the doubt. You really didn't know.
I appreciate it.
Kate, thank you, Kate, and for Tidewater Arts Outreach. You guys have definitely been reaching out to Virginia Beach a lot. So it's good to see all the things you guys are accomplishing. And Mary Ann, if you'd like, I know you're having computer issues, but if you could just type in again what's going on in your space, that'd be great. During the next minute that I'll talk, if you can do that. So it's great to see all the things that are happening in the community and all the events and everything going on. Stand by. I will have Heather send out an email because there's been a lot of attachments on this, and Bob also sent out an email that we're going to be sending out as well after this meeting. And again, I will send out contact info. So feel free to keep the connections going, keep meeting. where you can, and stay tuned to our next email that will have our next location to meet in person and Zoom. So I got to keep saying that because other people would like to still do Zoom. So stay tuned for that and the location for July. We're really excited about that. Did I say June? I meant July. JJ. So with that, I look forward to seeing you all in person next month, if not sooner. Please continue to stay safe, staying healthy and connected. And until next month, we bid you adieu. You all have a good night or good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.